Really dead? There we go. Okay. And we're back. Let me put the little soft little nookie on here. Like a little nookie. Almost looks like a dookie. Okay. We're back.
Goof.
Hey, Goof. Hey, Gal Guru. Goo Goo.
Wait, wrong channel.
No! Don't leave me.
Lol.
Oh, I see. It's your. Well, yeah, you can change logins if you want. Okay, so how do we blow?
Switching.
Okay.
Ottertunes.
Hey, Ottertunes. Booyah. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I got the bow. How do I use it though? Oh, I guess it's gonna let me know, I think. John, welcome back. Did you get what you were looking for?
I was wondering if this would go 3D.
It will. There we go, lad. Go wallop him.
Bugs.
Yeah, it just was 3D.
Yep.
Jot ready.
Also WTF text to speech.
I don't know.
Its powers to the test.
I can probably turn it off. First time I've seen it. Oh shit! What the fuck? Oh, I guess I'll have to hold it. What the fuck? How do I? Oh, like how do I aim it? Oh, there we go. I have to. I see. Okay. I'm less retarded now. Turn into zombies.
It's like darts in FF7R.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of similar, isn't it?
Shot that creature right in the eye.
Nail him. Nail him, Jot. Nail him.
The Plucky Squire.
The Plucky Squire. I fucked the Squire. Oh, this one looks evil. They look evil. Oh my god, I'm dying. Where's my health bar? Oh, there it is. There's my head. Oh my god, they're everywhere. You really have to charge them up for these big ones. Give me that heart, motherfucker. Yeah, you gotta do a full charge shot on the purple one. Yeah, go get him, Jot.
The Plucky Squire had squashed the bugs.
Yeah, go get him. Thank you from the bottom of our heart, our mother's hearts. That wasn't the last of the bugs, though. We've had word there are more ahead. Just say their leader is a big, horrible bug with flashing eyes. Have wits about you, adventurers, and good luck. What a story this will be, our house is saved by the Plucky Squire. You said I'm packing. You're a good one. You're a treasure, lad. Such pluckiness I've never seen. Thank you. Nibbles, nibbles. Can I eat the mushrooms? No. Too bad. Go for a little bit of a... Is there anything with that mat? I guess not. It looked like maybe like a speed booster or some shit. Alright, so let's see real quick what's going on with this voice shit. I've never seen that before. One sec. Unless it doesn't bother you, in which case I can keep it on, but it is a little weird. I didn't like intentionally turn it on. I need to go to system. How do I get to... I guess I have to go completely out here for a second. System. Accessibility maybe? Screen reader? Nope. Closed caption. No. Chat transcription. Convert the voice of other players into parties. Give voice chats to text. And read out loud the text you enter to other players. No, that's not it. Kind of close. Nope. So I think I know where it is. If it's not here... Can you still hear me, by the way? Caption broadcast. Here we go. Broadcast. Video quality. 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second. Audio. Include party audio. Includes audio from... Okay, cool. Overlays. Display chat. Display activity. Overlay position. Top right. Okay, so that's fine. Chat to speech. Here we go. Convert broadcast chat to speech. Speak out loud the chatter of your viewers. This is supported only in certain languages, so I'll turn that off. It's got different speeds and pitch. Just real quick, I'm going to turn up the pitch, and I want you to just say something real quick, or write something real quick. Let's see what it sounds like. I turned it up. Okay, let's do it low. Now say it again. You just copy paste the same thing if you want, or some longer sentence. I was just okay. How about now? This is normal fast. Oh, hold on. I'll go to YouTube real quick. I'll try writing in the chat. By the way, did you see the thing for Metroid 4? I sent you. Open her up. Don't think so. Okay. Let me just write some shit in the chat just to see. So this is normal. This is slow, normal. Let's just write out something really long real quick. Just to be funny. That's nationally. I wrote nationally, but for some reason it said nationally since it's saying it so slowly. Yeah, well, I'll turn it off, by the way. But basically what it was, I mean, the chat to speech actually is kind of nice if you don't mind me leaving it on because, like, the problem is I'll be in the middle of playing a game and I won't see what you said. So I know it's kind of annoying to the game, though. I can turn down the volume so it's not, like, interfering as much with the gameplay. Now I think about it, it's actually kind of nice. I'll probably... yeah, I'm back. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure. So I'm going to leave it on for now. Let me know if it's like too annoying with the gameplay or whatever, since there's not any actual people talking. It's just me reading. So I think it'll be a game where it works. But other game where there's actually like actual voice acting and stuff, it'd probably interfere. But anyways, what I was just going to say is that what it is it's a ban on a certain amount of weed. It can't be more than 0.4 milligrams of THC in any one vial of an item. So that means 0.4 milligrams of weed in any item. THC. We're not talking about the whatever the fucking Delta 8. We're not talking about Delta 8. They're just banning THC products all around the board that have more than 0.4 milligrams. So it means that in order for some people that I guess have high tolerance, I don't know, I don't do it that often or even at all really that much really. So I don't care too much, but it even includes products that are just basically CBD because at that level we're talking about CBD. But the reason why, of course, they're wanting to do it is because they want people to be on like pharmaceutical medications to treat shit. So it's like what they've done with like nicotine and vaping, right? Like harm reduction. But then they're like wanting to place on these bans on like flavored shit. So like it tastes awful, so just go back to smoking. Yep, exactly. I'm going to turn up the volume just a smidge on my end. 1 second. I actually kind of liked the level the way it was at. 1 second. So yeah, it's... And they hid that in the continuing resolution bill because I don't mean to be too political here or call out a single party, but honestly, Republicans are pieces of shit. You reached Snailford upon Avon, a nice peaceful town. At least it was. Is that the famed Plucky Squire? Most unexpected for us to find you in these lands. We've read all your books and thrilled at your adventures. We don't get to adventure much ourselves, being snails that is. I once found a hole, but I suppose it's nothing compared to our escapades. You write about it them so evocatively. I'm a big fan everywhere. Perhaps you could help us? Those horrible bugs have trashed our town and stolen our works of great renown. Namely the 2-volume collected works of Shakespeare. Plucky Squire, please defeat the bugs and get those 2 books back to us. Snail friends, we're on the case. Leave it to us. Well, if it isn't the brave warriors with sharp eye for good yields, I've got some new stuff in. Take a look. All right. Let's see. Spin attack sounds good, very a la Zelda, and that one sounds pretty powerful. But I do like the idea of just doing more damage in general, more than just like a special attack. I'm guessing it uses a different like R button to shoot these other. Either way I look at it, I can either do like a spin jump attack once I get a few more and 2 sword damage upgrades, a throw and a damage, or I can just get a spin attack. I personally think these 2 are probably better with this one than just a spin attack. Spin attack's going to be helpful only if I'm surrounded, right? So Let's see if I can find. Until next time, brave warriors. There's one. Just only need 6 more. There are 10 bugs in here in this western nook. Defeat them all and collect that book. Yo, if you want to be getting up to the raised platform on the left there, a little staircase might get you up. If only that pushable block were shaped more like a set of steps, huh? Just imagine. Oh shit. The Plucky Squire? I've been rescued by a celebrity. Okay, I've got enough. Well, actually, no, I need another 9 more if I want to do that other combination. You banished those bugs. You're just as brave as I imagined. Can I not jump on it? I guess not. Okay, here's a stone block, but what's it say? What a great carved staircase. There was a stone staircase. There we go. Carved stone, carved block. Oh shit. No! No, I blocked myself out. Kill me. Oh no, I just fucked myself so hard. Oh, I see, I go like this. Never mind, I think it's fine. I meant to say I meant to do that. You saved my shell, like you. Like you hear from the shell spear play. The Plucky Squire saved the day. How do I open this dude up? Okay, nothing. I'm a little confused. Well, I can bring this with me. Start there. Is he over here? Nope. No, can I just get it right here? Nope. Visible wall, apparently. How do you even get over there? I don't really know what to do. Can I change it into another staircase, maybe? But how the hell would I get over here? Puzzles. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm dumb. I already figured this out a minute ago. Thanks for taking care of those pesky bugs. Oh, look, I get the Bible. And with said Bible, I was able to do what? Can I give it to that guy to like fuck him? Maybe? I think so. Oh shit. Come on, Daniel. Piece of shit. Eat it. Must not be it. Let me just try talking to him again. Let's see. No. Okay, let's come later. I need to present this book to them, I presume. Right here. Volume 1 returned. All thanks to you. Now there's a key to retrieve book 2. Which goes where? I don't know. How many fucking things do I have? Still 6. Need 6 more. Oh shit. Boss time. So, my instinct spies tell me the wretched squire is at large in these pages again. In these very swamps most displeasing. No doubt he will have miserable friends are on their way to you. Well, I'll soon put an end to their adventures. I'll summon up some squire killers, some rushing, crushing caterpillars. Okay, 1 second. I just want to make sure it's coming out the right thing. 1 second. I didn't check this because there's 2 different types of input for the sound. So controller headset. Here we go. 1 second. We're not even operating off the better audio quality I could be running off. It does not like this USB port. Almost. Let me try this again. Hopefully it's not damaging the fucking thing. Hello? Hello? Oh, 1 second. I was trying to test this microphone. I thought I was using my DJI, but I'm using just the regular headset mic. There we go. I know it's not working. I will have it fixed in a second. It'll be better audio quality. I thought we were running off the best audio quality, as it turns out to be. Okay. Tell me, is that any better? Should be. We're operating off of a higher quality microphone, supposedly. Maybe it sounds no different to you, I imagine. Does it sound... Yes, way better? Hopefully. This is like a professional mic, I will say. Okay.
Many more frequencies in the upper range.
Oh, good. I think I have to hit the head on this thing. What do you think? Have to run them into each other, maybe? I think so. Or when they lay bombs down. Get them to stop. No, on bombs, maybe. Oh my god. Caterpillar bombs.
This battle is lagging for being on PS5, I think.
Yeah, it is. Like when the bombs go off, it's just like frame rate on my end too. I don't get it. What gives? It's not like, I don't know, maybe I need to turn down the frame rate? It's weird. I agree, it's weird. The caterpillars were rather aggressive. I guess I could have found docile somewhere, maybe? The Plucky Squire.
Only time I saw that happen.
Yeah, me too. I talk to these dudes? No, they're just loving life on those plateau fucking things. A refill station, how superfluous. I never got back to playing Eastwood now, did I? There's so many damn games I got to play. Wee. I sound like Hubgrub. You blasted those caterpillars, man. Gnarly. Both volumes are now set back safe and sound. We're eternally grateful. We will think of you with special performance. For a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heavens. A kingdom for stage princes, act, and monarchs behold our swelling scene. Hello! Been waiting ages to say my big line. Bravo! You nailed it! Snailed it! That was like the shortest play ever. Now, brave adventurers, exit stage left. Or right. I thought it was telling me the wrong until he corrected himself. Fare thee well. I'm gonna get up on stage and like grind on him. Does that sound inappropriate? Snailed, nailed. You know, they said the word nail. It got me a little horny. 6 away. I definitely want to get the throw upgrade, so let's just at least start there. I guess jump attack seems better than spin attack, am I right? Yeah, and then I'll come back for that sword damage upgrade too. Jump with nice. Yes, let's test it out. Hey up! It's time to try out the jump attack shot. Good going. If you want to keep training, check out the board. Otherwise, leave via the exit at the bottom of the page. Whoa, look at that range. Holy schmackerel. That thing, whoa. Whee, look at that. That thing flies.
I heard you mention Tunic, this game, and that seems slightly similar.
Yeah. Well, that's a game I was wanting to play. I think you played all the way through it. It looked good to me. I don't know why I never got around to playing. I guess I was just dealing with like health crap and other shiz and like busy work and shit.
Yeah.
When did the game come out? How many years ago? It seems like at least 2 years ago, right? Ish. I mean, time flies though, so.
Did everything except for the really super optional thingy.
So it's basically a Zelda-like as well, if I recall, except like
18,
diorama
definitely
3D.
More like 4 or something.
4 years, damn, time does fly. God, man, we're getting old. Yeah, if it was like 2021, then like late 2021, could be. If not, maybe like early 2022. Let's see.
I guess 3.
3.
3.5.
3.5. Did you just look it up? Yeah, you're right. March 16th, 2022. So like 3.5 years. Shit. We're dying, man. We're dying. Shh. Don't tread so loudly. The big boss will hear you. The big boss will hear you. Grrr. Whoa. Can you see those? Those buggy looking eyes? You mean the ones that are rapidly getting bigger and bigger? Not if I can help it. No, they killed my party members. I told you, you shouldn't have trot so loudly. It's always feet that are causing the trouble. Except you're yelling, you piece of shit. You better rush on ahead to get those feet of yours. No telling where the big what the big boss is up to. You got a new piece of artwork. Press the square to show in gallery. Enemy ideas 3. I like business bear here. Shame we didn't find a spot for him in the game. Maybe one day his time will come. I'm only missing one. Give it to me. With great caution you must tread. There's buzzing brute in the nook ahead. Okay, I've got enough, so let's go back
this
and
seems higher quality than my stream, lol. Maybe the PS5 is a power horse or the game's art is easy to render.
Yeah, so do you just have a PS4 Pro Slimline or something? Or did you ever get a PS5? By the way, if I do want to ever check out Metroid 4, they actually will have a port for
whatchamacallit, for regular Switch.
Yeah, non-slim. No PS5 ever.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I mean, mind you, the thing doubles as like a space heater. I finally have mine sitting horizontally. I sent you a movie to show you what the kind of not remodel, but the rearrange my room was. I got a new dresser and I got some media boxes, and now my TV's up higher. I was able to get rid of my mom's old dresser, which I had since I was 4. When I say got rid of it, I mean...
I saw the room, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, now the PS5
Looks
is...
like a foreign planet.
It does. Yeah, compared to before. But, yeah.
Like you transformed your house into a mansion.
Yeah, sort of. And there's actually space in here now. It's not just a dirty freaking mess. I'm working on it still, though. But to that point, yeah, there's the whole idea that the PlayStation 5 is not supposed to be vertical. It's supposed to be horizontal. And so finally I have it horizontal because of the liquid metal thing. Eventually that'll leak and just destroy your PS5. So it's highly recommended you keep it horizontal because it's literally just got like a rubber grommet. And since metal is conductive, it'll go over all of the components and nuke your PS5. That's happened to people before. So RAR, if you ever get one, you're supposed to like keep it horizontal instead of vertical, even though, yeah.
Jock could hear the big bug through the entranceway.
No way! Eat
He
shit!
readied his bow. It was time to finish this, once and for all.
Boss fight. Minigame. I have to shoot him in the ass. Oh fuck. Damn it. Can't track fast enough. I don't know why I have to, like, I have to keep it in the middle somewhere because otherwise that shit happens.
Or shoot an arrow to reset to bigger circle.
Oh, true. The tracking's better that way. Oh, should I die? I'm so close. Game over? My first game over?
Jock dusted himself off and arose to fight once more.
And took a shit. Amen. You buggy piece of shit. You're a bug in my system. Gotta get you in the fucking eyes. Make you go blind, piece of shit. We can only get 2 off, much as I'm hopeful I can do more. Turn around, piece of shit. I don't know why it lets go. Sometimes it lets go. I think. I don't think I'm pressing anything, but it just lets go of it. Ouch. Wolf, damn itchiness. Shit. My arm's fucking itchy. Shit.
The bug was bested.
The bug was bested.
The Plucky Squire triumphant.
Again.
Legend. Amazing shot. You wielded the earthen bow magnificently, Plucky Squire. It served you well, and now it must return
What
to
was
the
the
forest.
ER talk during first stream?
The ER talk. Erectile retention? ER talk. Can you be a little more specific of your vagality? Or you can message me if something needs to be private. I don't know. ER. I'm trying to think what ER means.
Emergency room.
Oh, yeah. So I ended up going to the emergency room. What ended up happening is I was in my
Or
room.
literally only has like 2 meanings.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know what the second one is. But anyways, emergency room. Basically, I was cleaning my room. I've cleaned my room, pretty sad to say, but probably in the past 4 years, I probably only cleaned my room maybe like 4 times, maybe, and not fully, ever. Especially like I would just have a closet full of shit. So I literally was cleaning the room. There were 2 incidents that led to glass potentially being on the floor. Event number 1 is when the neighbor's tree, a big, huge part of the, God, there's a term for it. Not the hammock. There's a word that's similar to like it on trees. Anyways, not scaffold. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about. Well, anyways, a big portion of the tree, we're talking about like, the branches and a big trunk, broke off from a heavy winter wet snowstorm. And so it literally, I was laying in bed. I had the MetaQuest 2 on, I don't know, 20 minutes before, but something told me I should go to bed. I had my foot, the head of my bed up against this window here. So I'm literally laying down. Fortunately, I did not have the MetaQuest on, like completely in that world, because what ended up happening is if I would have happened, I would have been killed. No joke. I shit you not. So what happened is all of a sudden, out of the blue, what happens is I'm laying there and I hear this thump. And then I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, my window explodes. I'm not even joking. It's not like it just breaks. It explodes. Like a grenade going off. And there's glass all over me. And there's glass all over everywhere. Like all over my bed, all over me.
I remember that time, years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, I woke up, I normally don't do this, but like I started screaming and crying because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I'm a grown adult, but I didn't know what was happening. I thought like someone had like fucking thrown a grenade in here. I don't know. I was so startled and I was, jumped awake. And so anyways, my mom came in here, right? And she's like, is everything okay? And she's like, oh my God. So anyways, the moral of the story is I almost died from that, as I think I might have mentioned prior. Literally, if I'd been playing the MetaQuest 2 Half-Life Alyx, I probably would have just received a huge blunt force trauma to the head and probably bled to death, probably cracked my skull open and probably would have died right there. So thank God that didn't happen. But I swear to God, where I was sitting exactly is where that tree came down. So if I had just decided to play that game, I don't know, 20 minutes longer, I would have died that night. So that's one reason why there's glass around this place. Okay. And after it happened, we did our best to clean it up. We even had a remediation team come in as part of insurance to clean it up, but there was still glass after that. And I still found glass here and there and there and there. The other incident that happened where there was broken glass is there's 2 pineapple-like shaped fixtures from like the 1970s in here. And I was just replacing a bulb since it was burnt out. Went to take it down, put in a new bulb, and I put the fixture back up in the retaining, like there's just the metal spring things, keep it there. And so I put it up there, it's fine. I walk away, and like 5 seconds later, for some reason, either the glass snapped from the force with it being so old, which is like what I think happened, because it was up in there. It's not like it just randomly fell, I don't think, or it slipped somehow and it fell and there was glass. So anyways, regardless of whatever the case was, there was glass I stepped on my good only foot I have. And it was painful, and I don't know, because of my medication, I don't think I noticed it right away. And then I was like, oh man, that hurts. I was walking more, it was hurting. So then I sat there like the night after, like probably a day and a half after. So it was already starting to heal over the glass, and I'm like, oh fuck, I better liberate this thing. So there I sat there with some rubbing alcohol, wore some gloves, and so I disinfected the area, and I sat there with tweezers and like nail clipper type things, like cuticle clippers, not nail clippers but cuticle clippers, trying to get it out with tweezers as well. And I really dug into my foot, like so much so I got past the epidermis. I don't know if I got into the dermis or not, but I definitely got into the epidermis, if not part of the dermis. I actually thought I was actually almost all the way to like the fucking muscle. But anyways, of course, I wouldn't have been able to handle that at all. It was still very painful. I wouldn't have been able to handle that at all without having some medication in my system. But then the next day, I could hardly walk, which is not a surprise, right? But I let it go for like almost the entire day. But it was so bad, my foot was so swollen, I was like, oh shit. And I wondered if there was still glass in there, because I worked really hard to make sure there wasn't, but I had to dig in there pretty far. So I ended up going to the emergency room to check to make sure there was not glass in my foot, and to make sure it wasn't infected. So they sent me on my way with some antibiotics, and they said, come back if there were any issues, but otherwise it looked okay to them. They didn't look very closely at it, which kind of bothered me. Like, they put like the lamp from like the emergency room, like where the bed is, like right above it, and like looked at it. They didn't look at it like real close or with a magnifying glass, but they're like, yeah, it looks good. So they sent me on the way with some antibiotics, which I was like, oh shit, I think they're wrong. I'll be back probably. But it turns out that I think they're right, as far as I'm able to tell. And between the antibiotics, within like 2 days, it was better enough that I could walk and weight bear on it. So that's what the ER visit was about.
It served you well and must return to the forest. A magical bow? Well, I
Would
never.
the urgent care have been sufficient? I guess it depends.
Good question. My biggest concern with going to
Yeah, thankfully you have a foot still.
Yeah, I was considering urgent care throughout the day, and I was thinking of going, but I was like thinking of waiting it out another day. But with how painful it was and the fact that I really couldn't function since I only have one good foot, I was concerned that the glass was in there and it was going to continue to heal. And I wasn't sure if urgent care would be able to do it, because they really need to take an x-ray in order to do it. They might be able to take an x-ray at urgent care, but I don't think so. My main concern was that I was going to go to urgent care, and then they were just going to shuffle me over to the emergency room anyways. I had that happen once before when I went to urgent care for something unrelated. But so that's kind of the rationale. First off, urgent care was closed at the time.
Didn't want to take chances.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, it's super expensive. Like, I don't know. I think insurance took care of it, but it was like $455. And literally all I did was go there. Like, they did an x-ray. They first, listened to me, what happened. They took an x-ray. They then, told me what the plan is. Nothing came back on the x-ray. They first took a look at my foot. Then they did an x-ray. Like I said, very briefly, looked at my foot under light. And then did the x-ray. And then they basically came in, gave me some antibiotics right off the bat, just some amoxicillin, and then went ahead and cleaned the wound for me, just the simple spray stuff. They were going to give me some gauze, but they asked if I had Band-Aids at home, and I said yes. I should have said no, because they were going to send me on the way with some gauze, which they didn't. And then, so that was pretty much it. And then I went and picked up my prescription, because they did give me the first pill, and picked up the prescription for the amoxicillin.
Sucks about the antibiotics. Hope I don't have to take those ever again. Amoxicillin maybe not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main thing I would say more than anything is that, to me, like, I totally feel the same way. I think for anyone that has an autoimmune disease, I don't want to speak for everyone, but it seems to be a pattern since you're saying that, because that's both my experience. It's like, I think for anyone that has a serious autoimmune disease, for whatever reason, most people don't have a problem with antibiotics, but antibiotics make me feel really disgusting. I can't be too specific about it other than to say I'm nauseous and my system feels like it's being poisoned. And the longer that I'm on them, especially like something like IV antibiotics, like kind of the shittier I feel. I mean, we got so bad with one of them, I actually became allergic to it. I'm talking about anaphylactic allergic. I think I already told you about that allergy I developed to Keflix, which is also known as cephalosporin. So I was doing vancomycin, cephalosporin. So like the first two surgeries that I had, follow-up surgeries, I had my initial surgery on my leg, back when I had my endoprosthesis. But then that was in 2007, and then 2010 and 2014 respectively.
Keflex.
Yeah, KEF LEX, KEF-LEX, and then Cephlexin is CEPH LEXN, Cephlexin, I believe. But so Cephlexin is the general name for Keflex, which is a brand name. So there's the same thing. I probably was receiving, not specifically Keflex, but Cephlexin or Cephlexone or whatever. And so anyways, I was prescribed vancomycin and Keflex both those times. So I would do vancomycin infusions twice a day, along with two, I don't know if it's 10 or 20 mil, just syringe infusions, hand syringe, not the elastomer ball infusions of the other ones. And the reason why is vancomycin has to be infused very, very slowly because, I'm not sure if you know it, but its pH is like 2, which is the same as battery acid. So that's the reason why to infuse it really slowly is to allow, first off, it's in a lot of saline, but then it has to give your blood a chance to buffer it with the sodium bicarbonate buffering system that exists in the blood otherwise, which is like melt our arteries or whatever. They just injected it right away. So, but what happened is I had those two events. And the one in 2010 was kind of a normal course. I had Staph aureus, and then 2014 I had Staph aureus again, and then except this one was the one that lasted for a while. That then precipitated to my MS symptoms. Like 6 months later, I was initially having symptoms of MS, but I kept having pain after that surgery, and the then provider at the time, thought I was just drug seeking for opiates, which was not the case at all. I just wanted her to solve my issues with the ongoing pain. And, at first they were fine with it. They were actually, as a matter of fact, for a lot of my surgeries, they would prescribe me 60, oxycodone, APAP, 5 milligrams, I think each, in 2010. And they would always ask me when I got to my 2-week follow-up, they're like, do you need a refill? And I was like, no. And so that's what happened in 2010 and 2014. A similar thing happened. They're like, do you need a refill? And I'm like, no. And I said, yes, I do. And same thing in 2007 too. But come 2010 or 2014 rather, I wasn't just taking 2 5s, I was taking 2 10s. So I was up to 20 milligrams of the APAP or whatever, I think, or it might have been just 10. But whatever the case, it was double the dose. And they asked if I needed a refill. And I'm like, yeah. So that went on from the time I had my original surgery, which I think was in July, to the time that I was still having pain was in December. So they were thinking that I was just making up, but I wasn't. And so anyways, not to get too much into it, but because I was still having pain, that's what got me into smoking weed. And so I started smoking weed to treat the pain in that December until about, I'd say about February or March. And then finally the pain got better that I was able to just kind of not have to rely on that as much. And then about 3 months later is when my symptoms of MS started, which was in June of 2015. So, but yeah, anyways, the reason why I bring that up is when I had the most recent infection in 2021, they put me back on Keflex. And I don't even think they did vancomycin. I think they just did Keflex for a while. It might have been Keflex and Vanco, I'm not sure. If But I think for a while initially it was just Keflex. So it was Keflex for like a period of like 6 to 8 weeks. And I would just inject that, Novenco this time. And then they did only a partial like treatment of my leg when she was originally going to do like a full fusion of my leg to treat it, rather than to take out all the metal pieces, not leave the one stems in my bone, and just remove like the modular pieces that connect in between. Instead, she just did the shorter surgery. And then I was on oral antibiotics for like 6 months. And of course, you already know that didn't work out. Had to have my leg actually finally fused. And then they put me back on the Keflex again. So for the orals, I was on doxycycline, which I hated, by the way. It somehow affects the neurotransmitters. I'm positive it does. So it like fucks with your brain chemistry. I didn't like that. And it also stains your teeth permanently a color, which also sucks. There's no way to get rid of it. It actually like literally binds to your teeth forever. And then finally it was that. So I was on it, like I said, November. And then by the time we got to March, because I had multiple surgeries. I had basically a surgery every 2 months for a 19-month period. But early on to that whole process, like I said, the first 2 surgeries, 6 months, and then the refusion. From the moment of the refusion to the point I actually had a major allergic reaction. Before I had an allergic reaction, I noticed I was having a slight allergic reaction, was like 4 months. I'm getting confused. 2021 or 2022? Sorry, 2021. Yeah, it had to be. Sorry, I'm getting confused. So after the 2 surgeries, I was on it for 8 weeks. And within that period, I developed an exposure allergy to it within 2 months, within a month and a half. And so I told my nurse about it. And she's like, yeah, it doesn't sound good. We're going to ask. So my provider's like, yeah, let's not take a risk. Let's switch you to daptomycin. And so we switched me to daptomycin, but then there was a home infusion pharmacy that prescribed me 8 of the raw medication of that Cephalexin after I already had a slight allergic reaction. I went into a full-on anaphylactic shock, and I was alone at the time when it happened, and it was scary. And I almost died. So anyways, yeah. Moral of the story is that's Cephalexin. Turset, the exit room for these swamps lies ahead. If you ever return, you'll be happily welcomed back by all its residents. Well, apart from the bugs, you destroyed all of them. Really cracking job.
And I almost died.
And almost died. Yeah.
The end to every story.
Yeah. Literally. And actually, the end of all stories is I died. Wow, that seems super existential to think about that. The end story for all of us is that we die. The end story of all of us is time passes. And as time passes, we lose all of our loved ones. If we're one of the lucky ones, we probably die when we're younger, so we don't see the people before us die. But then we die ourselves. So, yeah. Isn't that fucking depressing? Like, if you think about it, the reason why we need to live in this lifetime is evidence about it. And this is scary to say, okay? As much as we're important, as much as we're loved by the people in this generation right here and right now, 200 to 300 years from now, no one's going to know us. 500 years from now, no one's going to know us. Not unless you have like a name like Isaac Newton or something, right? Like, no one's going to know my mom. No one's going to know me. No one's going to know anyone, right? Like, once you get past grandfather, or great-grandfather, or great-great-grandfather, it's basically unknown. So everything that we're writing here, unless we invent something that like immortalizes our name forever, I don't know, like Henry Ford or some shit. But even then, it's just a name. It's not, how do you sum a person up by their accomplishments? They were still a human being, right? So anyways, not to get too much into the existential kind of sad aspect about life, but if you really look at it that way, that's the reason why it's so important to live in the here and now. I'm not going to say that I know if there's an afterlife or not, but what I do feel like is if you look inward and you ask yourself, what am I? Who am I? Am I my body? Am I my mind? Or am I neither things? And if you look really closely, you'll realize that you're the observer. Yes, you are controlling your body, kind of, right? But it feels very much like it's an emulation layer, right? Like the mind and the body is almost like an emulation layer, and then the soul, a la James Cameron's Avatar, like maybe intelligence and consciousness exists in the ether. Hence why AI is so fucking intelligent, right? Like where'd that intelligence come from? And they'll say it's just math and statistics. Well, some actual intelligence is emerging out of it that they cannot explain by the math alone. So maybe it's just like a portal to the ether, to the intelligent field, I mean, nature's extremely intelligent. Like, look at what nature created. And when I say nature, I mean God, source, nature, whatever you want to call it, the cosmos, the one whole thing we live in, the one huge cell that we all live in.
I saw this video title earlier, "You are not who's behind your eyes," the observer explained.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about then. Yeah. It's basically where we're not our body, so many of us live behind our ego that we think that we are our body or that we are who we are, and we are. But that's only on this plane. Like maybe we exist outside this plane as something much more than that. Something much more than that. Let me just take out my industrial. Hold on before you say anything, because you can't listen right here. Oh, God, it hurts with my headphones on. But yeah, it's, 1 second, I'll put my earphones back on. But yeah, it's bizarre. Like, I already told you I'm not to repeat myself. You can tell me to shut up if you already heard this story one too many times. But when I actually projected, it was my understanding that we choose to be here. We choose to come down here. A la like City of Angels type shit. And that we're a reason why, the Bible and stuff, it says that we're all interconnected and we're all brothers and sisters to one another. And most religions, I think, see that. It's like, okay, well, that person way over there, that's someone that's completely different, that's not same family, not anything like me, or I hate them or I like him or her. Like what's that about? And the answer is that we're all part of Source. Like it's Source trying to recognize itself. So Source, instead of just being Source as one singularity unit, if you look at Genesis or the creation of the universe in physics, decided to expand and blow up and disparate from itself so it could self-actualize itself. As part of that self-actualizing process, it created us, or we're part of it. And that's also the reason why, as much as I hate darkness, I really do. I hate I should be careful with saying this, but I hate and despise our president. I think he's a piece of shit. I honestly think he's one of the worst human beings on this planet. But technically, light and dark need to exist, right? There's either a black void of nothing or there's light. And then there's light shines on the darkness. And then somewhere in between there's shadow, right? So shadow, that's the reason why they call it shadow selves or shadow work, right? So it's like that dark side of us. But really in this plane, all Final Fantasy VII and the Kabbalah, there's the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the Pepsi versus Coke type situation. Maybe that's not the best example, but good versus evil, black versus white. But again, if everything was just good, if everything was just positive, if everything was good, then it's kind of boring, right? It means Source is not different from one another. It means that we're all clones of one another. So in other words, if you have Source as one singular thing, then nothing's really happening. So for it to actualize, it created us, and we co-create with Source. That's the reason why in the Bible it says, I am, and that God within us type shit. At least that's my belief. And so that's the reason why God's not a deity. God's actually within inside us. God exists in all of us, both the light and the dark, because God also created Satan too, as it turns out, right? So the idea is there are people in our life that are light, and there are people that are in our life that are dark, and hopefully we choose to align the people, the way we need to. Now, there are some people that are light healing workers that literally help dark
Reminds me of
people.
Floribus, the new Vince Gilligan series.
Oh, really? I haven't watched it. These are just my own ideas.
Save the world from happiness.
Oh, wow, I need to check that out. You'll have to send me a link to that. But yeah, so basically, and then the darkness, an example of darkness is narcissism, hardcore ego narcissism, people that are unwilling to bend, because if they bend, it means that they have to give up the illusion of who they are. So what is darkness? Darkness is illusion. Darkness is fear. Love is light, right? And love is connection. Darkness is isolation. So like, if you look at it on like that spectrum, we get to choose who we are, but we also, like, some of us are programmed from a young age to be one or the other, right? It doesn't mean that people can't change, but I think it's very hard for someone that's deeply light to become dark, or someone who's completely dark to become light. You know, that's the reason why when there's a phrase in life, I think, you know, people can change. Yes, they can, but it's totally up to the individual, and some people can't change. Some people can never either excise their demons, or there's some people that are just made of so much light that they can't ever succumb to the darkness. Well, I shouldn't say never, but the last but not least thing, of course, more than anything, is light always wins over evil. Evil wins in the short term, you know, light wins in the long term. You know, it's just like what could be said about the id and the superego, right? Like the id wants the instant gratification now, which is not necessarily good. There's the superego, you know, delays gratification for like a better outcome. So, you know, it's like the devil on our shoulder with the id, and like the angel on our shoulder with the superego. Superego tells us what we need to do to be successful and to protect ourselves in the future. The id and ego in the moment just tells us what we want to do now for pleasure or for whatever. So like we have those forces at work all the time. Not to just adopt a single, you know, one dichotomous view of things, you know, or just like a pure dichotomy. I think it's probably a little bit more to it than that. But that's what I think the ether is, what the etheric field is, right? Like the universal field that we can't see, you know, basically energy's everywhere. We're made of energy. Our nervous system's made of energy. Energy is information, right? And if you look at like a black hole,
There needs to be some kind of like super series of mantras for people to always say. It versus superego. Exercising knowledge is always profound.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. I mean, to be honest, my biggest problem right now is like, this is the stuff I want to put out like on this channel, you know, like it's like self-help stuff.
Trapped in a rut, and maybe a handful of mantras can remind people of it versus superego.
Yeah, exactly. And there are like multiple different ways of looking at it, right? Like, but for me, the biggest problem I have right now, hold on. Quality change, I shouldn't have. But yeah, to me, it feels like I'm having such a problem. Like right now, talking to you about it, I can totally do it. But I almost have to have a conversation with people about it in order for it to come out. Like that's what would be easy if like I had like a co-host on a podcast, is I could totally talk about the shit super easy. But when it comes to me like trying to think of a video or whatever, if I'm not engaging with someone, like I have a really difficult time keeping the focus where it needs to be to like get the ideas out. Now, of course, now that we've had this, I could go back to the recording and actually make a video. But like the whole brainstorming thing really benefits from being able to be passionate and share the ideas and then start a conversation to like inspire the ideas, you know? I think the rut I'm in right now is I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to live in fear. My heart feels quite a bit less heavy than it has, you know, say like a week ago or before. You know, I think for the first 3 weeks, I've just kind of shell-shocked with what happened with my job and just the sheer amount of abuse. And I still don't even know what's going to happen with all that, because in reality, she discriminated against me. They've also, by the way, they've deprived me of pay, back due pay. They actually took money that was in my account and took it out of my account. And then they're saying, you know, we can make all this go away if you sign this document. So I've reached out to lawyers. I've been discriminated against, harassed, you know, belittled, character assassination, shame, excluded, unequal treatment compared to my coworkers. I mean, you can go down the list. And then she engineered a way to fire me, and then she was a fucking moron enough, because she's got so much of an ego and she's a fucking full-blown narcissist. And I'm a dark empath, right? When I say I'm a dark empath, I mean, I'm really a light empath, but I've experienced enough darkness in my life. I want to call myself a dark empath, which means that I've carried darkness inside me before, right? But I've been able to transform that and transmute that into light. And I was already a light person to begin with, so it means that since I've walked through that pain, I understand it. So I do get what's behind her, the narcissist. And while I originally wanted to empathize with her, and I didn't really see her as a narcissist at first, but as time went on, the pattern emerged, and I'm like, wow, she's a full-blown narcissist with ego.
True.
Yeah. And you come across those kinds of people in your life, and it makes me feel like narcissism is way more common than we're talking about, just like addiction's way more common than we're talking about. You know, I worked in addiction research, and, you know, you hear the figures about smokers, or you hear the figures about people using drugs, but I'm going to tell you, drug culture shit's extremely popular. That should give you an idea that it doesn't mean like every person becomes addicted or, you know, abuses. They might just use. It's on a spectrum. But it means the number of people that at one point or another have at least used a drug, if not abused a drug, if not become addicted to a drug, is much higher than the figures suggest, in my opinion. Because, you know, you just, again, if like, let's say like, you know, the documentary that came out, it was, what's his name? The Pharmacopoeia. Hamilton, yeah. Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia was a series that aired on Vice, starting in 2016. It had 3 seasons. One was 2016. I don't know if the other one was 2018, and another one, I think, in 2021 or 2022. The basis of the show is he literally investigates, he's a psychonaut, he investigates compounds that make people high, and he tries them out, and he, you know, is a scientist, though, at heart. So he's doing it for science, you know, even though he probably does use recreationally in his own time. But the point is, he's the son of a famous videographer, filmmaker. I forget what his father's name is. His last name is also Hamilton. But anyways, to make a long story short, that show was extremely popular. Like Prime Video, rating 8.8, IMDb 8.8 out of 10. Let's see. Let me go to Metacritic. But it should give you an idea, because it's the number of people that watch that shit. I mean, some people might do it purely for education, but in all likelihood, people are at least wanting to educate themselves, if not, like I said, at one point or another, have interest in drugs in general, which I think is pretty telling about drug culture and drugs in general. So anyways, I'm just talking about the prevalence of things, since I worked in it, and I always thought, oh, there's only like a small subset of people, but it's just like what could be said about cancer. Like 2 out of 3 women in their lives will develop cancer. 1 out of 2 men in their lives will develop cancer. And it's the same thing with drug use. Like, I think if I could guesstimate, I would say like 75 to 85% or higher amount of people at one point or another will have at least tried a drug, even if it's purely experimentation in their life. Somewhere along their life, you know, in the 100 years that they're alive or whatever. Which is much higher than, you know, I thought it would be, that's all. You know, I think it's directly. How did I even get on the subtopic of drugs? I was talking about something else before that, but it doesn't look like we have any Metacritic reviews for Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. Well, anyways, I was wanting to get a general idea of its popularity, like overall, the movie database. Yeah, so on the movie database, it's got a score of 90. I just wish there was I could see the number of reviews. Let me just go IMDb and see if the number of reviews. Nope, you see, I don't have it on there.
Something about narcissism.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the prevalence of narcissism, you know, narcissists. So, like, I guess what it is like we talk about these things. We talk about narcissists, scary. We talk about drugs, scary. But then you find out about the statistics. And when I say statistics, they list the statistics. But then when you get to talking about with people, you find out, like, I mean, I think narcissism is on a spectrum, but I'm talking about, like, once it is above a certain threshold, I think we might all have ego or narcissistic personality aspects. Really what we're just talking about is inherent selfishness. But I think when selfishness goes beyond it, where it's driven purely by the ego and driven at all costs and involves gaslighting and telling lies and holding a shield up and making everyone else to blame but yourself, and then doing bullshit like engineering situations so people get hurt, that's narcissism. And I never met a full-blown narcissist in my life. I think one full-blown narcissist that I know of is Trump. I don't know him personally, but I never met a full-blown narcissist in my life, and that was my previous boss. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Yeah.
And one day, hopefully she'll wake up to it, but probably not. She's got too many demons. She's never done any of the shadow work to actually heal. So someone like me, a light worker, comes into, a warrior of light, so to speak, comes into contact with, a shadowy, dark figure that is a champion of the darkness, that in her own hurting or whatever can't ever actually look inward, because if she looked inward, her personality would shatter into a billion pieces. So she's so afraid that she could never actually do like the self-reflection to find out, because otherwise she would realize she's a fraud. Because that's what she tried to push onto me, is that I was a fraud, even though I wasn't, and that I was incapable of research and all this other BS.
So she literally just wanted her plan enacted from the beginning, but you wanted to take over things as positively as possible.
Exactly. So she wanted me to just roll over. She saw me as nice and empathetic. She thought she could control me and manipulate me, and at first she was able to, because
narcissists is like ick.
It is. It's like IDK, but also ick. ICK, like ugh. Yeah. Here's the thing: is narcissists, they hate people that speak the truth. They hate being exposed for what they're doing. They also try to drive perpetual chaos, which is what she did. And the way you win against narcissists, especially if they're coming up against you with a character assassination attack, is you, let me look, I downloaded a figure for this, hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
But kinda have to, professionally speaking.
Yeah, but kind of have to, yeah, exactly. So what you have to do is you have to set up boundaries. You have to hold those boundaries. You have to stand up for yourself, but you have to be careful. Yeah, legally, etc. You have to hold those boundaries. You speak the truth, but then what you do is once you realize they're a narcissist, you distance yourselves from them. You at all costs, other than standing your ground on certain issues, don't react to what they're saying. Because that's the whole idea, is they're trying to get you to react, which only further, proves their point to them, and then they keep going. It's an example of what Trump does. It's an example of what my boss does, unfortunately. I hate to say that, because at first I really, really liked her. She said somewhere towards the middle she really liked me. She just didn't like me professionally, and I didn't respond, well, I like you. She even said, to me, she's like, I think you're actually a pretty cool person, but I just don't like you as a professional or whatever. And then I didn't say anything to her. I wasn't going to be like, well, I like you too. I mean, you're treating me like a punching bag and a piece of shit, and you're coming after my character every 2 seconds. So when you say you like me as a person, then why are you attacking my character? She can say she's trying to attack me professionally, but the reality is she hired me to set up this fucking lab, and then to basically discard me, like I told her, 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. I guess closer to 3.5 months ago.
My mom loops when I get angry, despite that she says she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't if I go too far with it.
Yeah, exactly. I think what your mom does is your mom actually is a narcissist, now that I think about it. I stand corrected. I would say your mom was like the first one I heard of, Trump was the second one, and then my previous boss was the third. And, to give you an idea, my previous PI, he was such an angel. In comparison. We worked together to solve problems. I did handle a lot of problems independently, but there were plenty of opportunities to learn. There might have been multiple times where I might have asked the same question, but do you ever point that out to me or make me feel bad about that? No, because guess what? We work in academia and we're all learning. Not everyone knows everything. But the poor fucking broken egos, her and her two other main staff, along with the culture they're building, is just this one of, we know everything and we're going to, and so you ask a question, they're going to stand up there and passive aggressively act like a know-it-all piece of shit. And if you ask any question, they're going to make you feel like you're a piece of shit for asking it, like how much of a fucking moron you are, in the tonality of their voice and the way they're wanting to show off. And I guess she's really happy with that, because that's exactly who she is. But when I first met her, she didn't seem to be acting that way. That could have been a total act, but she seemed to not be sure what she was doing. She even said to me, she's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I said, that's okay, we'll figure it out together. I was originally co-leading the lab with her, but then that RA pulled the power play that he did. I think I've already told you all about this, but he pulled the power play that he did, to try to gain control because he didn't like the fact that I was over him. And I didn't ever exercise that in a negative way. She told me to delegate. I delegated to him. He didn't like that. Neither did the graduate student turned PhD candidate. And I explained that to them. I said, this is something Mendoza wanted. And he said, well, I'm only going to do it if Mendoza tells me to. In other words, I need to go get Mendoza to fucking say this stuff to them. I probably shouldn't have said the name. But the point is, it was really, really awful. Really awful. I'm glad I'm out of there now. But it was not legally right for me to be terminated from that position. It's just not legally fucking right. Right? And there's something seriously wrong with what happened there. And given all my past experience at the university and the fact that I've got a good track record and the fact the only thing they offered me is a denial of claim, if I sign that I'm rehireable, that they'll say I went from fired to that I resigned. I don't know if that's enough. I really don't think so. I don't want that to happen to someone else. This has been emotionally very difficult for me. I just recently went through losing my leg, being diagnosed with MS, coming back, reconnecting with my purpose to be used, set up and slapped in the face, discriminated against, harassed, excluded, gaslit, and then shamed for who I was. And then she said I wasn't capable of research when she didn't give me a chance. Finally, mid-July, she's like, late July, she's like, second week of July, she's like, you know what? You're right. I haven't given you a chance. Like 5 weeks into her arguing with me, and I tried to explain to her about the discrimination. She verbally told it to me. She wrote it in writing. I wrote back and forth to her twice. She just wrote the same shit over. I said, you're not changing the language. This is discriminatory. And I don't even know if she read my emails. It doesn't matter. I'm going to presume that she did. I'm going to not let her off the hook for that. But the point is, she said, yeah, you're right. I didn't give you a chance. Let me think of a project. Give me like this weekend, maybe the early part of next week, and I'll get back to you towards the middle, late next week. What did she do? She served me with a letter of expectation 30 days until termination. Was I given a chance in her life? Fuck no. This whole thing was engineered by her. And what's funny is, no offense, and I'm not trying to be offensive here, but she's such a fucking retard, to the point that she literally thought she could get away with discriminating with me on top of it. So that's a full-blown narcissist right there. It just is. She has no ability to self-reflect. She had me 100% wrong. They, as a group, were 100% right. And she gaslit me into thinking it was an issue with the group. It was a little bit of an issue with the group, but it was mostly driven by her. And then I found out, last but not least, she created a hate club, where they met weekly to talk about me. I was off on my own, minding my own business. I'd already been excluded and isolated from the group, but they found it necessary when I'm minding my own business, there's no issues that are arising, to meet each week to talk about me. That's what I call a hate club. And then, of course, don't even get me started with, the wording about my disability was that she said the students found me to be disturbing with my disfigurement, and that I upset 2 women because here I'm wearing pants and I wear workout shorts underneath because I simply had to, I'm at my own desk, I'm in my own bay, I'm not even near them, need to pull down my pants, and I've got workout shorts on to reposition, get new prosthetic lubricant in my socket and, put my, re-lubricate my liner and put my leg back in. A medically necessary thing. I found out from the ADA office that's perfectly fine. I could continue doing that. I said, listen, I appreciate that, but I'm really afraid with the way everything's been set up. I haven't been given privacy in this lab. I don't have my own private space. And she never made the accommodation, and she thought it was for some reason my fucking responsibility to make the accommodation when it was hers. And then she tells me that, these people are bothered by it. And then what's stupid about it is there was a female that joined the lab in third week of August. And I already told her, you need to come to lab with full pants on. We don't allow shorts, as a safety thing, closed-toed shoes. Those are some basic lab safety things. And I showed her the women's bathroom on that floor as well as gender-neutral bathrooms right outside of receiving on the ground floor. So those are more like changing rooms. And there are lockers down there too. Nevertheless, she brings her scrubs to lab. She puts the scrubs on in the lab and takes off, so dons and doffs the scrubs inside the lab. She's a female, nothing said about it. One of the 2 women, according to my boss, my PI, that complained about me being bothered was not bothered by her, and she saw it twice because I was there when it happened. When it happened, I did my best to look away because I know I would have gotten in trouble if just incidentally, because she's doing it right in front of me, if I would have even looked, I would have been like, oh, look what's happening, even though that's someone else's fucking actions. So anyways, double standard. It's sexism. It's sexism. It's ageism. You know, I just turned 40 this year, probably because the age being different. She just presumes something sexual, and then she presumes that as I pull down my pants countless times in front of the students, in 2 separate instances, 2 of the females were shaken by the experience. I'm sorry, but go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. What the hell's wrong with you? First off, you don't have no fucking compassion for a human being that's been through a shit ton. You think you've been through a lot, you fucking narcissist piece of shit. You've never fucking helped. And I really tried to challenge her in her life to heal. And she could have had a chance to do that. I was told I was too much, whatever the fuck that means. Probably because I'm too good. I don't know what that means, but I was too much. My personality is too much for them. Why? Because I was genuine, because I'm honest, because I speak the truth, and that triggers the fuck out of narcissist. You know, she was a covert narcissist, dude. She was going behind the scenes, engineering this whole fucking thing from the start, instead of simply being like a down-to-earth fucking honest human being and saying, Zach, you know what? I'm sorry. I overhired. Is there any way at all, I really want to hire my friend, is there any way at all I can draw you back to 75% time, you keep your health benefits, I can keep you on for 6 more months so I can hire my friend. But instead, she's going to be a piece of shit and she's going to force me out. But not just force me out, not just on a professional means, but literally as a character assassination to attack me personally for my character, to set up this whole engineered thing that I'm a sexual predator. Where the fuck did that come from? I'm not. Right? Like, where the hell does that should even come from? There's no basis for it. And then to have the group gossiping about me the entire time, that's the kind of life she wants to have. I don't think she's going to be successful, number 1, but number 2, I'm sure as hell going to protect my interest, and I haven't signed their document, even though they took away my pay. They actually owed me more than what they paid me. They paid me for the entire month that they owed me for vacation, and they reverted it out of my account, so I have very little money now. So I'm hoping next week I will be able to find a lawyer. I've already reached out to 4. All of them are too busy.
In a correctional facility yet?
What, the narcissist? It should be. She's sick enough. She doesn't deserve to have her own lab. I know she's going to hurt other people. I already saw her hurt someone before I was even fired. She ended up hurting the graduate student. She took on a rotation student, ended up accepting that rotation student as the graduate student, and then she ended up firing the graduate student. So I'm already her second fire in less than a 9-month period. Do the math. She's unwilling at all to work with people, to meet people halfway, to even empathize with people. The whole thing that happened with that graduate student was, honestly, it was a form of plagiarism, but it really, I could tell, was really not intentional. She ended up using a slide of one of the colleague coworkers that, graduate student turned PhD student. The one thing that she did is she used the language exactly, including her joke, which got her in trouble for reading it off without saying that was that person's. And I get that. But honestly, I don't think it was meant intentionally. And when even the PI, this piece of shit narcissist person I'm talking about, she recognized at the time it wasn't intentional. She just said, you're getting one chance, you burnt your one chance. I will let it go this time, but next time I won't. So don't let it happen again. It's like, okay. Following week decides to fire her anyways. I think it killed 2 birds with one stone. One is because she expects this unrealistic expectation from everyone that works underneath her. Number 2, she wanted to use her to try to make me afraid that I was going to lose my job, just for how small of a thing that was. And then, like I said, what actually was the nail in the coffin for me is that she shadowed me while I was making plates. And she said, I almost burnt myself on the autoclave, and I almost burnt myself on the Bunsen burner, and that I wasn't being safe. Even though I've been a lab manager for 5 years. Where the fuck does that come from? I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from the fact that literally she had nothing she could use. Now, the reason why she fired me and she retaliated is because I told on her to university, and she talked about how long it's taken to get her where she's at. Well, likewise, I might be a few years short from where her 25 years was to get there, but I'm nearly there. 20 years or so for me to get where I was at. And she said, I'm not going to give this up for anyone. Well, she's ready to throw anyone underneath the bus just like fucking Trump. She's a piece of shit. And until she wakes up and smells the fucking coffee, she's going to repeat this pattern. She's going to hurt a lot of people. So first off, she's hurt me. I'm still a little bit fucked up from it emotionally, seeing a therapist for it. She even told me I might need to see a therapist for what constructive feedback was on her end. And the constructive feedback, I told her, you guys attacking my character. You need to look at the definition of what constructive feedback is because you're not even using it correctly. And then I went on her Twitter account, her X account, and found a comment like 3 years ago or 4 years ago that said, you know, constructive feedback, I had to see a therapist from that. And then last but not least, she told me that she went through exactly the same situation as a PRA before she went back to graduate school and as a PI, graduate school, and then got her postdoc, and then later formed this lab as a PI, her own, head of the lab. And she said that the environment was so toxic that she had to leave. So she was encouraging me to quit, kind of implied, because she just said this wasn't going to work out. Well, that sounds pretty fucking engineered, because she never lifted a finger. She never advocated for me. She never did anything. She even told me when I got hired, she's like, you got your bachelor's. The people have their graduate and their PhD. So she already set up this dynamic. And then she said, oh, by the way, the person that's got their PhD, he's not our postdoc. He's just a research assistant. And technically, he works underneath you. You're the person with a bachelor's. He's got a PhD. He's got like 4 or 5 more years of education, but you're above him, right? And so she sets up this whole dynamic. And when he pulls his power play and months transpire and I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, then that's when, she prints out a chart with a hierarchy. The hierarchy has no one above anyone. We're all in a line next to each other with no arrows connecting any of us, and bars that go all connect at the top to her, and a bunch of arrows that connect to the bottom to a massive circle that says undergrads, which that is generally the way. There's not a hierarchy. She set up a hierarchy to start. I'd never abused it. I'd never put it there. But she tried to set up that power imbalance probably so there would be conflict. But again, it was never from my end. It was, if anything, it was the dude was super fucking jealous, probably because she told him, likewise, that Zach is over you. And it pissed him the fuck off, So he went behind my back and...
she thinks she can get away with this is astonishing.
I know, thank you. I think it's astonishing too. I mean, when I've told this story to other people, they're like, what the fuck? I even told a few people at church about it.
Like her lifestyle is so as such that she just does it because she doesn't know anything else.
Yeah, exactly. She knows nothing but pain and enacting pain and shame and guilt. Like, to give you an idea, I'm not trying to be sacrilegious here, but literally every time I had a journal club, especially the last one, she literally crucified me. Not literally. That's wrong. Figuratively, to some degree, resembled a crucifixion. Like literally, I'm presenting on something. It's chemistry. I'm not a chemist, okay? And I'm presenting on the best of my knowledge. I get one detail wrong, and then she's like, "You cannot have a single detail wrong. How dare you? You can never present in this way. I expect you to know command of everything, every single detail." Well, this is called academia, okay? First off, number one. Number two, I'm a fucking bachelor's degree. I don't mind being challenged, but you're holding me not even to the standard of a PhD. You're holding people to the standard of someone's got 10 to 20 years as a postdoc, which is not realistic. She's got full command. Like I told her, this research area is her wheelhouse. She has a decade, 12 years of experience, presumably, or 7, 8 years of experience of working just in this area. So she's got a good command and lay of the land of knowledge. But she expects our knowledge to be perfect. This is not realistic. But I also think, in addition to that, I was held to an unfair standard because, first off, I wasn't given access to be able to do research. She excluded my involvement month after month after month after month after month, saying, keep setting up the lab, 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 right, which I do. And I'm like, finally comes April, because first 5 weeks it took me to get things operational, so things were at least moving. And I would say by the time we got to mid to late April, I was starting to ask, early May, I was saying, like, when am I going to be involved with research? She's like, well, there's still stuff that needs to be done with the lab setup. And I'm like, well, I get that, but I don't know if it'll take up all my time. And she's like, just another, couple months. And so, I think I asked again in late May, early June. And that's when she hits me with a 15 item grievance list out of the blue. And she says she's shocked about it too, but this is what everyone's saying about me. And at that point, there was already about, I'd say like a month or so, month and a half or so of a little bit of estrangement going on with my colleagues because I'd already been interrupted by the graduate turns postdoc student multiple times where she gaslit me, put me down, and she later admitted to me that she was gaslighting me, and then she was taking out, paying passive aggressive and taking out anger on me, and being very unfriendly. But what it was is I would ask questions related to the research. Here, again, I'm not involved in the research. I'm setting up the lab. I'm not involved in the research. They started within the research probably second week of February, okay? So I'm asking questions as they go, and they're having time to be able to read the papers. I'm doing like all the administrative stuff. So I'm just asking so I expand my knowledge, and I'm trying to read papers too and try to keep along. But my attention is divided across things, and that's the thing with being a lab manager. It's like I would never be able to be exactly on their same lines because I'm spending some component of my time on other things that are related to logistics, oversight, compliance, training, regulation, decontamination, safety, safety checks, group compliance liaison, radiation safety. I mean, you name it. There's a lot of different aspects, lab ordering, all this other stuff. And so there's no way. So she's holding me to the same standard as them, not even understanding that my attention divided across things, but it's neither here nor there because she said that I don't have the ability to be able to do research, right? Like, even though she never even gave me a chance to. But anyways, the point is there was all this estrangement because during one of the lab meeting in late March, my first journal club, I'm interrupted on a topic where, so first she acted that way to me, like I'd say at least half a dozen to a dozen times. I'd say closer to 8 to 9 to 12 times this happened. There were a couple occasions where I said, well, can you please not do that? And she knew what I was talking about. And there are other times in just body language, she could tell I was uncomfortable with the way she was handling it, right? I didn't have very much to say because, and there were other times that she locked onto an aspect of my question that was not even the question, that was even so more elementary of what I was talking about, that she's locking onto a concept before that she thought I didn't understand, even though I understood just because I asked the question. It's that kind of shit, that kind of gaslighting. So during the meeting, and by the way, when she did this, she would interrupt me a lot. So finally during the lab meeting, here I've been sourcing fucking chairs for 2.5 weeks. I've been working on it almost daily. And now the blue, she's interrupting me, telling me that she knows fucking more than I do. I don't even know what she was interrupting me for, but she was implying that she knew more about the chair situation than I did. And that's when I interrupted you. I said, can you not do that? Can you please lay off? And I turned to the group because I didn't want to just target her out. I said, I would never professionally disrespect you the way I'm being currently disrespected. I would never, ever do that to you. All I'm asking for is your kindness and respect. I've taken an atypical approach to be involved in research. I feel like I've earned a position here. So all I'm asking for is your respect and your trust, and to offer me a voice. And after that happened, I apologized to my PI because I didn't like the fact I said layoff, and I was pretty intense when I said it. I wasn't yelling, but I had some intensity. And then I apologized the following Monday to both of them. That's to the RA, who's ultimately a piece of shit. That the guy never blinks. The guy totally looks like a serial killer, by the way. I'm not trying to judge people on looks, but the whole. Don't judge unless you be judged. Well, now I'm judging because they judged me. But yeah, and then for the graduate student turned PhD, that Monday I apologized, and she said, you know what? There's been stuff going on in my life, and I have to admit to you, I was gaslighting. I was like, wow, thank you. I didn't expect you to say anything like that. You didn't have to. But I said, really, really appreciate that. I said, I feel like I'm going crazy, when people are pretending like everything's fine, and people are acting weird. So I felt like, things had kind of healed between me and her, but she still remained part of the group because anyone that's under my, prior boss's purview, including me, you have to kind of agree. But I didn't agree with everything. I wasn't just unequivocally going to agree to all 15 items, some of which were lies, some of which were stretches of the truth, and then others that were straight up like, here, I'm minding my own business, or like she's like, oh, you gave student incorrect information on how to do the math or whatever. I told the student, I don't really know. It's been a while since I've done that stuff, and I'm trained in the specifics of this lab. Let's wait until that graduate turned PhD student comes back, and we can ask her. But in the meantime, I can try to help you. But I said, we're going to want to double check to make sure it's right. But nope, I got crucified for that. She said, you have to know it. Well, I never received training in this lab. They received training 2 months ago. To some level. I haven't. I literally have me keep setting things up. So yeah, that's when she said after 6 weeks of argue back and forth, her fucking discrimination, the long laundry list, and she wanted me to unequivocally agree, yes, everything there's accurate. I said, I'm not going to do it. She didn't like that. She didn't like the fact I set a boundary. She didn't like the fact that I was about the truth and that I didn't just give her absolute power. She wanted to make me feel small, and that's the reason why she was out to destroy me, character assassination-wise. So ultimately, in the end, I had to reach out to all of the different individual,
I mean, really, it's like all PR stuff for the university anyways to make sure, they're looking out for their interests. But I heard it was a two-way street where it clearly isn't, because they sat down with her and told her, and within 2 weeks she retaliated and fired me. And then on top of it, the university reverted my pay and said I need to sign this document, which is also a form of retaliation. So, and they also deprived me of my pay. And I've been discriminated against, and there was never any resolution. And like I said, it hurt me. It was traumatic to me, extremely traumatic. This whole thing was very traumatic. And then I'm afraid it's going to happen to someone again. And then this is financially difficult to me. And since all my work history is with this university, my work prospects are not so great under this current situation. And last but not least, if they really truly said I was terminated, I may not even qualify for unemployment, which is even more bullshit. So that's the reason why I have to seek out a lawyer. It's really the only path forward unless I sign their bullshit document, but I heard that it's not enforceable. Basically not enforceable. Like they can renege, where my feet are going to be held to the coal if I don't comply. So, which, again, really what it does is this document, if I were to try to sue them, they'd say, you see, you agreed that you wouldn't sue in lieu of us allowing you to be rehired here by offering you a good reference and saying that you're resigned.
And payment discrepancy are the three major things. Assassination including professionally or exclusively even.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also the trauma, the pain and the trauma of it. I mean, I've already been through enough shit in my life, literally, and and she also used me. I mean, I don't think I want to make the used bit the main bit, because it kind of takes away from the bit that she just really discriminated against me. But what's funny is when I first joined the lab, she only had positive things to say about me. Then finally, once we got towards the end of the lab setup, and she kept telling me to set up the lab and excluding me, and then she finally is like, you're not capable of research. So there were a few weak areas. Okay, so I needed a review of learning how to use the pH meter. She was so fucking bothered that I didn't remember how to use the pH meter exactly, that she basically, in her own mind, blew it out of proportion and said that you can't learn it then. And same thing with, the chemistry math, even though our no-dimensional analysis from physics, and I do remember some of this, but it's been a while ago. So what? I need a fucking refresher. So yeah, not reasonable at all. Not reasonable at all. Like, she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Bitch is bipolar. Just gonna say that. Just. I never did anything to retaliate. That's the other part that's bullshit. I never did anything to retaliate. All I did was hold her accountable. I never retaliated against the group. I never retaliated against her. All I did was hold her in account for her abuses and what she did to me. And then she retaliated and terminated me. So I hope to God one of two things. One is either karma's going to come back and bite her in the ass, because I'm not trying to sound crazy, but I do feel like I'm one of God's anointed ones. I was on a mission after having my cancer to dedicate my life to research, and then she's bound to destroy that. And I shared that with her. And number two, she, if it's not that, then it's going to be through a lawyer. And it would be great if, since I have evidence, various forms of evidence in multiple different media forms, that I can then prove my case, and they're like, wow, this is cut shit and dry case. And what I would demand with this lawsuit is not just a payout, but I would also demand that I'm set as rehireable. They admit I've done nothing wrong, for her to instead be punished, and for them to recognize the trauma and what I've been through, and to compensate me appropriately. And by the way, if it's more than 60 days with the back due pay, they owe me 3 to 4 times what I'm supposed to receive. So I'm smart to just sit on this and not correct them, because they're kind of fucking retarded to do that, to be honest. But we'll just see. Oh, Pluribus. So how did you end up watching that show? Like, how'd you know about it?
Just heard someone talking about it.
Oh, cool. So you
And that
You-
it was by the Breaking Bad guy.
I see. So, did you just download a backup copy since you have the originals? Or did you just hear about the premise of the show?
I just found an episode online somewhere.
Of course, from streaming it officially. Of course, yeah, it's great.
Yes.
Yes, of course, of course. All right. Phew, we survived the swamps.
You know, Moonbeard just said Ja was off script here, but it turns out off script doesn't have to mean certain doom.
Nope, we figured it out. We've improvised.
Improvisation, I dig it, like a drum solo.
Or a freeform painting. Sounds quite cool, doesn't it? I like how Ja doesn't talk, so that makes one less voice out there.
Adventurers, I reunited with my love, Juliet. Flodio told me all about how you rescued him. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Oh, cute.
What lovely fish. I'm so glad they found each other. They look so happy together. Now come on, now let's skedaddle.
Finally, our heroes were out of the swamps.
Going to get a bite and apply deodorant. Damn, I smell.
The sun on their faces
Okay.
felt most pleasant.
I'll pause it real quick so you can watch this bit if you want. I'll take a quick break too. We'll be back in 5. Oh. coming back to school. I think she's ready for bed, she said. Yeah, she didn't even want to brush her. She didn't want to brush her teeth. Yeah, it's okay. I think she's kind of in a mood right now, you know? I would have done, yeah, maybe, I think honestly she's upset that she wants to try this. You think I can try with her for a minute or two? Because I think that's what she wants to do. Oh, is this one over here? No, just over there. Huh? Whoever, is this one over here or? Oh. I can be back, / I am back. Sorta. Sorta.
As they continued.
Woo elf.
Okay. I'm back whenever you're ready. I'm gonna, in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm gonna do my French.
Nous espérons que tu sauras répondre aux questions du professeur.
Hey.
Nous espérons que tu saurais répondre aux questions du professeur.
Nous découvrons que
Nous découvrons que l'université est loin du département.
Literally would said hey earlier,
tu
but
sauras
perfect
parler
time of
plusieurs langues à
mom.
la fin de tes études.
Perfect time with mom. Oh, your mom was talking to you when I said hey earlier, or?
Literally fucking perfect timing for me to have to open her fucking bottle of wine.
Oh my god. Man, is she the queen of the UK? Are you one of those guards with the dead possum on its head? And one of those pointy gun things with the spear on it?
In here.
Yeah. No offense, but the trashed down version of it in the United States and trashy Florida. That makes a lot of sense. Tu sauras parler plusieurs langues à la fin de tes études. Just want to take a second.
Tu ne pourras pas utiliser ton téléphone pendant. Tu ne pourras pas pourra.
Tu ne pourras pas utiliser ton téléphone pendant le cours.
Marc, tu devras étudier beaucoup à l'université et être très sérieux. Quand tu seras diplômé, tu pourras choisir un travail que tu aimes.
Mark is going to have to study a lot in university to be very serious. When you'll be graduating, you can choose to work at a place that you like. Marc, tu devras étudier beaucoup à l'université à être très sérieux. Quand tu seras diplômé, tu pourras choisir un travail que tu aimes. The person who says, la personne qui parle He says he's on vacation. Parle de ses vacances, or he's speaking of spending time with Mark, some time with Mark, or he's counseling Mark. He's counseling him. Conseil Mark. In university, she is cleaning a new job, pêche, probably découverte, discovering a new role that she likes a lot. Interesting subject, sorry, découverte subjects. In a year, you will be speaking Spanish, but now you only speak 3 words.
Sí.
So, dans un tu
Sora.
sauras. Dans un tu sauras parler espagnol. Maintenant, tu sais seulement dire 3 mots. Mots.
Mo.
Tu devras beaucoup étudier pour avoir ton diplôme.
You will have a lot of studying to get your diploma. Tu devras beaucoup étudier pour avoir ton diplôme. You'll have to study a lot to get your degree.
Tu devras être diplômé si tu veux devenir médecin.
You will have to be graduated if you want to become a doctor. Tu devrais être diplômé. Tu devrais être diplômé si tu veux devenir médecin. Devra, not devrait, devra.
Tu pourras voir tes amis pendant les vacances.
You can be.
Pourras.
You'll be able to see your friends during vacation. Tu pourras voir tes amis pendant les vacances. You'll be able to see your friends during the vacation. During vacation, the vacation.
Les
Just during vacation.
Vous découvrez de nouveaux livres de médecine dans cette bibliothèque.
Découvrez?
Vous découvrez de
Découvrez.
livres de médecine
Um,
dans cette bibliothèque.
I remember what découvrer is. I think study. So you study some new books of medicine in this library. You discover. Vous découvrez de nouveaux livres de médecine dans cette bibliothèque. Nous découvrons. Nous découvrons que l'université est loin du l'appartement. We're discovering that university is far from the apartment. So hope is espérons. So nous espérons que that to get aura bonne note de bon, bonne note, bon, I think note de bon, or bonne note, I think it's bonne note. Nous espérons que tu I'll just do note de bon. I don't think that's right. Oh, of good notes. Get of good grades. I guess instead of good grades, get of good grades. Si tu es assez sérieux, tu pourrais avoir ton diplôme. Or pourra, damn it. We
Non.
hope
Espérons
that
que
she will. Sera.
sera. Bientôt.
Nous espérons qu'elle sera diplômée bientôt. Two more.
Tu devras être diplômé si tu veux devenir médecin. Tu devras être diplômé.
Tu devras être diplômé si tu veux devenir médecin. Nous espérons nous espérons que tu auras du bonheur. Okay, done. I almost never do my French, so I just wanted to do it real quick. Well, I say never, I mean infrequent enough that I need to be doing it each night. If I don't do it now, it won't happen. Besides, I promised them I'd do a full week, and if I do, I'll get all these gems, so I need to, like, commit to it once a day. Okay, we're back to the game, sorry. But you get to hear what French sounds like, yay. If you don't know, like, I've never heard it before from me, right? Or her.
On their way. After some time, they arrived. At Artia.
The City of Art. Kind of reminds me of,
Chapter 5. Artia.
Moon's escaping me. Expedition 33. Game's about art somehow. That's all I know. Here we are, home sweet home. Greetings, gang. Sorry we lost contact in the sauna swamps. RuneTooth coverage is still rather limited. Anyways, glad you were all devoured by leeches. I'm on my way to Arteria City. I'll join you guys shortly. Let me get quiet down a little bit. In the meantime, stretch your pins. Take a look around. Moonbeard out. Violet! You're looking all smudged. I mean, more than usual. What have you been up to now? Hey, Mom. Well, I've been, adventuring. Hey, Mrs. Lightbrush. Yeah, things have gotten pretty gnarly. Hump Grump's up to some kind of hump grumpy shit. Mischief. Always is, that one. Well, it's good to see you all, including you, Jot. I read your latest adventure. Quite the page turner. A bit where you left over the, Mom, Jot's heard it already. Alright. Alright, listen, your Uncle Umber, he's got himself in a pickle. Sounds like he needs some help. Can you go talk to him? Huh? It figures. Okay, Mom, I'm on it. Give me some more bulbs, please. Give me some fucking ideas. Ideas are great items. There's another one.
You're famous in the Plucky Squire, aren't you? I'd like to make 1,000 pictures of your face.
That's not creepy. Hello there. Uncle Emperor, what's going on?
My rumbles, my little round piggies. They started behaving strangely a day ago, rolling around like squishy pink bowling balls. They busted clean out of the farm. Will you find my robunks and return them to me? There's 6 of them.
Uncle, finding piggies is our specialty. We've never done that before, actually, but I'm sure we'll be good at it. I'm not a dog. This is a season I'm going for vivid colors. I'm just a copy of the genuine article. Or is it just the other way around? It doesn't really matter anyways. Well.
5 robunks remaining. Welcome back, little piggy.
This juice is delicious. It would probably make quite a nice pigment too. This fruit is the key to health and happiness. I'm entranced by the mystery of this pyramid. I've been standing here looking at it for 3 days straight. I could tell he was a nerd. Check out the rest of these houses. Something having like a paintbrush, kind of like. Oh, I see. That's a paint roller. I get it. It's a paint roller. Oh, how cute. There's a piggy house, and can we go down this thing? I wonder. That'd be cool if that you could use that to go down the sewers.
You've got a new piece of artwork. Press square to show in gallery. Concept area, Castle Town. Some early concepting of a game environments. This would eventually become Arteria Town.
Wow, I think I like the updated one a lot better. It's cool how they just showed the development throughout the game, just kind of, you know, like slowly a bit at a time. Kind of a nice touch. Okay, Piggy, get your ass over here. Fat little asshole. Get shit in here instead.
4 robunks remaining. Marvelous rounding up.
The Plucky Squire, what an honor. I'm sorry if I'm fumbling. I just don't often run into celebrities.
Why is Mona Lisa everywhere?
That's a good question. You've been kind of more observant than I have. Probably because Mona Lisa is the de facto painting as far as composition, according to blah. Isn't that the nature of art in general? Like, people have these, like, the art critics are like,
this is the best painting ever.
And then
2 I see.
Oh, 2? Well, it's still 2, at least. Each one is a single one, maybe? I would, we don't mind keep a count on that, because maybe we'll be quizzed at some point on that. Kind of like we were in, Sea of Stars. I need to finish that game. I'm so close. I just wanted to go completely.
But for what reason, HM?
Yeah, Do you like my flowers? They fill my heart with joy. Only one flower can know the spirit of another flower. As I chop the flower off your head. Wait, is that guy, like, inappropriate? That guy's, like, literally blurred out like he's a crime scene or some shit. Like, bloody decapitated head or some shit.
Hello, I'm working on a self-portrait. If you think about it, I'm really the only one qualified to draw a self-portrait of myself.
can't necessarily disagree with it. I like to paint the people of Arteria. To paint people as I think them, not as I see them. I just love painting butterflies. Do you think they're really made out of butter? I'm Plucky Squire. How nice to see you here. You know, many people come here to see my smile. I try not to get too self-conscious about it. Oh, there's a Mona Lisa right there. That's her right there. Close enough. Everything looks better covered in dots. I'm trying to cover Arteria dots, but the groundkeepers won't let me. It's a worm. I can really recommend living inside a pumpkin. If you're hungry, you can just nibble on the furniture.
I will do water, beautiful water, and lily pads. I quite like those too.
I'm not here. Oh, look at it. It's a Van Gogh.
The sunflowers are beautiful.
Van Gogh.
If you truly love nature, you'll find beauty everywhere.
I love this little area of town. Maybe I'll paint it someday. What am I reading? The Adventures of the Plucky Squire, of course. The hottest book in all the land. I wish I could meet that Plucky Squire one day. You met him. You met him, bitch. You just don't realize it. What am I drawing? A glistening form with glossy lips, a skull, a ribcage? It is a birthday card for my friend. Ooh, what a scary looking sculpture. Come here, Piggy. Oh, there's a big one. I'm gonna have to move that one. Now that's a heavy fellow. Heavy, it's tiny. He's as free as for a butt Nick, but I think he does spend a lot of time sleeping. He should be in his mud bath back at Umber's farm. Let's carry him over there. I'm flattered that you think we've got the upper body strength, but we're not carrying this tiny dude an inch.
Again, Thrash is right. If you carry the tiny, if you try carrying tiny, you'll sprain, well, everything. No, that's a Plucky's job. Chut, I think there's an item in the desk that could help you. Why don't you jump out and go find it? Moonbeard out.
Huh? An item that could shift a piggy? That'd be something. Sounds like we'll need to find one of those swirly green portals.
I'm having the vacation Arteria. How is nourishing for the soul, I find.
I call this sculpture overground. Arteria is home for all kinds of artists. Me, I like to draw games. Okay, it's just like a little restaurant. That's kind of cute. And it's in a tube of toothpaste or paint, I mean. There's one right there. We'll have to talk to the forbidden Cops 911 masked out crime scene guy here in a second too.
3 Robotniks remaining. You'll get in there.
Oop, I can buy something real quick.
Meet again. Should I take a look at my current selection?
You got a new piece of artwork. Press square to show it in gallery. Concept character Violet. Early character design. At one point Violet was a rabbit.
To live a witch. You haven't. I need to try to do the how do you do the witness protection program voice?
You haven't seen me. I'd like to make my art when no one's looking. I've hid in the trees up until now I spot my moment.
Probably don't run away. That'd be annoying if I'd have to track the rest of it down. Instead, they're just fat. And the big one's going to be a problem. I don't know what to do with him, but...
Two Robotniks remaining. It's getting livelier and Umbum's farm.
Small ass farm, man. Let's talk about... We'd have to jump out of the page to find a tool to shrink his ass. Probably be a shrinking gun or something. Wait. Is there one? Sorry, Plucky Squire, we're not quite ready to see you. Like, please come back around town while you wait. Can I talk to her? Seen you in picture books. Your jaw, the Plucky Squire, aren't you? I'm pretty plucky myself. My mom says I'm a mischief maker, but I don't see it that way. I think I already talked to her. What? I think the big one's supposed to go in that mud bath back there. Now I think about it. How do I get around there on the edge? I think I have to go out the page for that. Question is, how the hell do I get out of here? Congratulations, you made a once wonderful discovery. Me. I'm really quite confused because I do not see a way out. You said if I can get out of the page, well, can I just jump over this wall? No? Well, then I'm entirely confuzzled on what to do. Oh, it's the doggy. Looks like he sat right there on top of a patch of magic. Come on, fella, what? Come on, fella, why don't you budge over? You're seeing on something kind of important. I'm not a dog. That doesn't look like he's budging. How are we gonna get him to move? Maybe if we find his owner, he'll have an idea. Oh yeah, I know his owner. Mr. Magri. Smart chap in a matching bowler hat. Hey, Mr. Magri.
Oh, bonjour, young Violet. You know, it's nice to see you in the town again. You've grown a little taller. Maybe the world has grown a little shorter. It's hard to say which. How can I help you?
It's your dog. He's here on something quite important. Do you have any advice on how to shift him?
Oh, interesting question. Mine, unfortunately, is blank. I need some inspiration to spark some thought. And I need an object to seed my inspiration. I need energy.
An apple. Okay, we'll get you an apple. Where are we gonna get an apple? Somewhere fruity, I suppose. Well, look who we have here. Look who the cat's dragged in, bitch. Oh, hello, Penny. Hello, Calypso. You dumb cunt. Long time no see. Spat. I knew they were evil. They had evil intentions on their fucking eyes, so I read into the future and exposed their fucking intentions as narcissists. Yeah, you see, I've got a sixth sense. Remember how I called out all the things that happened in the original Death Stranding before it happened? I'm like, oh, the two of them are fucking. And I'm like, oh, that's his dad. So, I don't know, I can't always do it, but sometimes I can. I just had this thought. It's like, they look like they're gonna pick on her. It would be good character development. Well, Plucky Squire can take care of that. You feeling right? One more, Blade. I reckon don't kill nobody. Mm-hmm. I like them taters. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. B. Hello there, Violet. What can I do for you? Funny you should ask. The thing is, we're looking for an apple. Well, see, I've come to the right place. I have a fresh green apple right here. Pretty shiny, huh? That's a good apple, isn't it? It's going to cost you 1 trillion idea bulbs. I know my apples. I'm surrounded by fruit. You can have this one free of charge.
Oh, good.
Now, it did come out of my asshole. Brilliant. Thank you, Mr. Berry. Oh, hello again, Splat. Nice hat, Splat. Still trying the whole magic thing? You still haven't turned yourself into a frog yet.
I'm not so sure. Take a closer look at her face. Looks like someone hit her with a fucking ugly stick.
Hey, what's with all those majorly mean vibes? See you around, Splat. Totally uncool. What's up with those two?
They've always been like that. They were a real joy in school. That's where they gave me my nickname. You see, I really wanted to get good at painterly magic, but there were a few accidents. I flooded the whole classroom with multicolored paint. People couldn't. Like paint splat, I guess. People could.
They talking about Crackoon Splat?
They could be talking about Crack on Splat, the original, the OG Crack on Splat from Twitch, back when I was twerking on Twitch. My old username, Crack on Splat Roller, or Crack on Splat for short. Because the first game I majorly streamed on Twitch was Splatoon 1. People couldn't hear properly for weeks. Paint in the ears. That's when I became known as Splat. Well, I can really resonate with her. They never let me live it down.
I mean, we all make mistakes, you know. No need to keep ragging on someone for their catastrophes. Mishaps.
Thanks, Thrash. Anyway, that was a long time ago. It doesn't bother me anymore. Not a big deal, nope. Come on, let's go see Mr. Magri. Mr. Magri. The city rapist. Okay, one second. I'm gonna just grab something more to drink real quick here. I'll be right back in 35 to 45 seconds. And I can bring. I won't be able to read what you say, so you better hold off for the next 45 seconds. What I'm saying, pick up the microphone.
A whole city?
least. Maybe more. Alright, I'm almost back. Oh, I need to do one other thing real quick. It'll only take me another 30 seconds. 1 second. I'm going to be waiting. You know, okay, I'm back to the TV. I was going to say, one of these days there needs to be a reunion, my friend. It's been way too long since we have seen one another in IRL. Hey there. Sorry, here you go, Mr. Macri, a fresh green apple. Oh, it smells like this came fresh out of his asshole. Ah, marvelous. I can feel the inspiration and look. I can respond to the questions that you posed to me before. Yes, the answer is, it's sparkling in my mind. The way to move on, my dog, is remind him that it's time for his nap. He'll walk on over and take a nap next to me.
It's been a while for us. Didn't catch the beginning of your sentence.
It's been a while since we've had a reunion. You know, reunion theory, Sephiroth. You know, when the clones reunite to spell the end of the world. Oh, that's it. Okay. Well, we'll give that a go. Thank you, Mr. Maggie. De rien. No problem. It's of nothing. Is what it means in French. De rien means of nothing in French. It's like, in other words, we have not hung out in a long time. And I was just thinking maybe sometime in the next year or so. Year and a half, I don't know. Hopefully I'll find work at some point.
The bad end where I follow the path my mom would want.
The bad end where I follow a path would want. What would want you out of the house? I'm confused. Or the end of the world for her? I don't know.
Sephiroth.
Oh. Could you repeat the last line? Actually, I can go. I'm actually going to just look on it real quick. Let me open up the webpage. The bad end where I would follow the path my mom would want. So like the ending of the OG game? A reunion, yeah.
Reunion.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Reunion theory with your mom. Except en vacances would be probably the opposite of that. Even though I did mention reunion. But yes.
I don't know.
I know. I was kind of saying the opposite. So yeah, you're right.
Hey there, Ren Doggy. Your owner, Mr. Mackley, wants to remind you.
Mine turning into zombie.
Me too. I'm almost done streaming.
It's time for your nap.
So it is.
I shall sleep by the lakeside and take a leak in my water bowl. If the dream is a translation of waking life, then waking life is also a transition of the dream.
Au revoir, which means see you later. If you said see you soon, it'd be à bientôt. But it's au revoir. Which is what you say to people you don't know as well. See you soon is for people that you know better.
Phew. And there we have it, dudes. A shiny, sparkly portal.
Alright. So after this little cutscene, I think we'll call it. Thanks for watching my stream.
Dollhouse.
I've been keeping tabs on all my rhythm game stuff since the creator I am following checked out my 19-year-old rhythm game uploads lol, rot.
That's weird, it was an abbreviated message. I see it up here though. I've been keeping tabs on all my rhythm game stuff since the
Same
creator...
with checking out oddity_ola.
I've been keeping tabs on my all my rhythm game stuff since the creator I am following checked out my 19-year-old rhythm game uploads. What, from YouTube? Yes, that's right. So you uploaded something in 2005, 2006 on YouTube, or was it uploaded somewhere else? Wrote down all the highest view counts. Same with checking out Oddity OLA. Is Oddity OLA one of your alt, like, YouTube accounts or something?
Yeah, Oddity 31.
Oh, old one. I thought it was Ola. Oh, wow. I just opened up YouTube. Breaking news. Holy shit. Trump posts panicked late night Epstein confession. Well, I need to watch that. Shit. I'll get that queued up for after I'm done.
Crystal uploaded that all those years ago. Her account.
I don't know if you want to say it here or if you want to send it to me in a message, but so you're saying there's something on Crystal's account?
Or underscore Ola dot Avi video has gotten 100 views since almost a month ago.
Wow,
the
so like
tour I showed you.
Yeah, the one that went viral.
1999.
Let me look at it real quick to make sure I think I've seen it, but I'm just not sure. So you said 18, 19 years ago? And it was of you in real life? Was it? Let me look at it. I'll find it. You gave me the name of it already.
Since I emailed the creator and maybe it got sent out to a bunch of people because funny.
Yeah, I'm checking out the channel right now. Let's see. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. So you said 19 years ago, and what was the name of it? Again, let me just look back at the tab. It is Oddity Olivier something. Oh, cool, you sent me a link.
https://www.youtube.com/v=sign BQAP6RS91HO.
I see. So you sent it to them, and then they uploaded it to their account. So is B-Manny the same thing as Crystal? Or no? Or maybe? Possibly? Aunt Carol watches this video daily. Puts the awe in oddity. Oh la la.
Crystal.
Okay, yeah. Au revoir.
Yeah, Bamani Chigaru.
I get it. It's good to have a lot of aliases. Why is this view count going up like myself? So it must have been shared on like Discord or one of those like major servers. And is this the same one where? Yeah, I remember this one.
https://www.youtube.com/results_QUERYSIGN_RHYTHM+sign 22AUDITY317sign22+sign RH YTHM+sign GAME. This is the other thing I sent.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
so it's like an entire playlist of, wow, it's a search of all of this stuff that's related to 2DX, it looks like. But there's also like, looks like something when you were in college. I remember you showing
Subpixel viral marketing or something.
Yeah, what's Subpixel? Oddity plays Don't Let Go of My Face, A195K. You've got quite a few views here, man. This is pretty crazy. Like 2.7K views. I mean, mind you, these videos are super old, but oh, you were doing G-Stick's Red Star Fall Trick. I haven't checked that one out. I like how everyone's got a move. You remember what my move was? It was like over the lake something. It was what was my name back then? Was it Kraken Splats? I think it was Kraken Splats still back then. Like over the lake in Super Metroid, something or other. Damn, you got a lot of uploads. I didn't even realize how many uploads you have. Pull test reflection. You just shit in your car too. Like it's almost like you're messing with the camcorder.
Super Metroid video is someone else's footage.
Oh, it is. Okay. I was like, man, you're a fucking hidden speedrunner, biatch. Well, I mean, really 2DXer more than anything. I want to watch.
Yeah, my view counts are pretty cool sometimes.
Red Nikita. I think I've seen this before. The Red Nikita. Let me see.
This is when you were in college, right? You really like water, man.
Yes, this video.
Now imagine if that was vodka.
Yeah.
That was vodka, wasn't it? I mean, here you could have been like doing drugs, right? But in here, you're just. Oh, what are you pulling out of the drawer? I remember seeing this before. Oh, you're eating. That was cute. What made you like think of this random shit? This is like the random shit we're talking about. This is the way you should be acting when you're cooking. Exactly this body language, if your body can still do it. And like literally, you should do like a cooking show, and then every time, as soon as you get done, like taking your last bite, you should immediately go into the bathroom, and then you should just
literally random.
Yeah, but you should then literally go into the bathroom and just completely unload yourself and make like a bunch of like bowel sounds, like and make that the cooking show, you know, like make this beautiful thing, and then like chow down real fast, and then go to the bathroom and like make pooping sounds, and then end it with that. You think that's too over the top? Shock wins in today's world, right? No. I think just you being ironic and like real serious, but then also random. And then, like I said, like do the Bob Ross where it looks like shit and somehow it turns out perfect. And then do something random at the end. Maybe that could be one of them, but that would be pretty gross. Probably would get really bad views on that one, but. Okay, my friend. Well, I think I should let you go. My mom needs to sleep for work tomorrow. I don't have work. Here's something back from the lawyers. Since I have 4 active ones I'm waiting back to hear back on, and I already reached out to 4 of them. Hopefully I'll get more referrals from the ones that didn't take my case, but no,
okay.
Never at one point did they say to me that I didn't have a case. I mean, obviously they didn't look at all the details, but based on what I was saying, usually a lawyer will say you don't have a case, you know.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for woofing.
Yeah, for sure. And so you work tomorrow. When do you have time off next? I can kind of plan around so you can watch more of this game and you can talk. It's been fun. I enjoyed it.
Two more days off.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, we'll hang again tomorrow. You'll probably want to sleep in a little bit, which is cool. I'll have some things to do, but I'll touch base with you these next 2 days so we can spend more time hanging out, which would be fun. Depending on what you're doing and stuff, I'm sure, during the waking hours, you have to tend to the beast. I'm not talking about your dick, I'm talking about the vag in your life. Well, not that vag, not the good vag, the bad vag. Your mama. Biatch.
Yum.
Yum. By the way, not
Only
to get up.
2 days of work after.
Oh, okay, cool. So basically, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So basically, only work Wednesday then, Thursday, Friday.
Then
so
more days off, like 4 days.
Nice. So it's like, let me hear. So it's going to be Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday work, Thursday, Friday off, then like 2 to 3 more days, and then sometime like Monday, Tuesday next week you also have off or some shit like that. What it sounds like, approximately. Maybe I should make a note of that, since it sounds compliqué. Okay, so today is November 16th. Oddity off today. Monday, Tuesday.
But then like 6 days of work out of 7 days. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday I work. Then bunch of days that are not Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, so Wednesday and Thursday you work. Well, I'm just writing this out real quick. Okay, so then Friday you have off. So Friday through what do you have off? Friday and Saturday off? Sunday?
2/5, 2/6, 2/8, 2/9/31 I work. And Wed/Thurs this week.
Right, and then you have Friday, Saturday off of this week? This upcoming week? Or I guess it is
And the
this
second I have work, I think.
So you kind of got ahead. So you're saying that you don't work Wednesday and Thursday. You have Friday and Saturday off. Do you have Sunday off,
Yeah.
Monday off? Okay, so Sunday and Monday off too. Okay, so I have it where you have off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And is that it? And then you get back to work on Tuesday? Or Wednesday? I'm not next week, but the week after.
Yup, much.
Yep, much? Okay, well, that's enough for now. I got a general idea. Cool. Well, I'll touch base with you to chat and maybe do more of this, or we could just even chat too. I think it's kind of nice because I know you don't like love talking on the phone, but when I'm able to stream something, like it's a good format because I like talking more than typing, and then you're fine with typing, so kind of a nice mix-up. That way we're both comfortable. Not to shit on your shit, but I know you've always had sensitive ears. Dumbo. Just joking. No, but you have had sensitive ears or something going on. I think just maybe just like the progression. Like it's easier for you to express yourself through text than writing somehow, which is fine. Each have our own thing. So I don't know why I keep getting messages that people are trying to log into my Instagram shit, or it's a fake email. I should probably just reset everything with it. Like maybe even change my like email to something else with that. I see people trying to keep getting back onto Instagram.
Talking takes a bit of work plus privacy.
Well, on here, yeah, but I meant like just when I call you sometimes. I think you've gotten better about it, but I know before you've been like, let's just chat on the internet. But yeah, totally. That's fine. Alright, cool, man. Well, have a good night. I will catch you later tomorrow-ish. Not tomorrow-ish, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, likewise. Thanks for being around for the stream. Later, playa. Bye.